So, now it's time to try and see if we actually set up the pipeline correctly. So, going to do first thing we're going to do is open a terminal, and then we're going to cd into MetaPathways again. Maybe we'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see things. So, if you're going to run up an instance of the pipeline in a terminal, you have to source RC, just so that everything in the terminal is sort of set up. So you source that, and then the next thing you have to do, or well, let's just let me bring up a command that I already know is as a sort of demonstration of what a command to run the pipeline looks like. So, like I've said a couple of times, is that this MetaPathways.py is what is the driver of the pipeline, and so this command is a call to MetaPathways.py. The next thing, it has an argument -i, and that's the input file or input directory. So if you have multiple files in a directory, multiple FASTA files, it will pick up all the FASTA files and try to run them. In this one, I've pointed it to directly to a particular file, regression_test.fasta. The next is -o, and then this will specify a folder, or it will create a folder where you point it to put the results. C is the configuration file. So that was that template config that we modified not very long ago. And -p, which is the parameter file, which is the settings for this particular run. So we edited that last video. Next, there's another one. This is -v, and that stands for verbose. And so that means it will print out all explicitly the commands that are running for each step of the pipeline. So it's a lot of things. But if you don't want all that text flying across your screen, you can leave it out. And the next one is it's sort of subtle, but it's important, is the run type. And so run can either be overlay or overwrite. And if it's overlay, the stuff that it finds in output, if it corresponds with your sample, it will try to pick up. So it will try to use results that already exist. So if something goes wrong in a pipeline run, then and you start it again, overlay should pick up where it left off, unless perhaps some of the output files were incomplete, in which case you'll probably have to redo them or overwrite your run. So as a case in point, we can just type this guy in. All right, and then we hit enter, and the pipeline's off to the races. So right now it's going through the BLAST databases, and it will format each one. So right now it's doing Metasite and COG. So it looks like that run finished without too many problems. We can see if we look in the BLAST database, BLAST database folder that our databases are now compiled. And in this output directory, we have a regression test folder that has all the results from our run. And in this ptools directory, we have the pathway tools input. Now, if you go back to where this ptools local directory, which you sort of had to, I told you should remember, and this is the reason why. Because this is where all your PGDBs are stored. So if we click on, go into PGDBs and user, and we'll see that now we have a regression test.psych. And we're going into all this because, into input here, because there's this organism.dat file. And if you open this guy up, you see there's this field here that says unclassified sequences. And use it unless you go and change this this field. So it's sort of important that you go and change the field just so you can keep track. If you have many PGDBs, you'll definitely want to keep track of it. So you have to go into this file and just change it. Right now, I'm going to open up Pathway Tools. So I'm actually going to run Pathway Tools from the command line. Right, and says I have 3 PGDBs now, so there's our 1 extra. And I'm not going to do the survey right now. And as we see now, we have this PGDB in there that's called Regression Test. And there weren't very many files in Regression Test. It's just there to check to see if it works. But if we bring it up, it said, well, I had 35 genes in there, and we found 3 pathways. And so from here, you can go and explore your metagenomes as PGDBs. So I hope this has been helpful and helped people get started with using the MetaPathways pipeline. Please email me or leave comments in any of the videos if you have any insights or recommendations or concerns. Also, take a look at the GitHub and post issues there if you find any problems, because we are, quite interested in fixing them. Yeah, good luck with your metagenomic or single cell analysis. So long for now.